Carthage must be destroyed. In my hands here, I have a battlefield in a box, painted tabletop terrain, the fallen angel. I'm going to do a bit of an unboxing here today, and the actual unboxing itself is not going to be very long because there's not going to be a whole lot I want to just say on one piece. What I want to do today is I want to open this box up, show you this fallen angel, that's the piece I have here, but I also want to talk about Gale Force 9 battlefield in a box. Now, I love painting miniatures and I love doing up terrain and scenery, but sometimes you maybe don't have a lot of space or time or something like that. Now, you probably want space if you go and buy these, but time-wise, this is kind of a lifesaver, especially if you're not really interested in doing fantasy terrain pieces like I am. I do paint terrain pieces, but I'm more focused on trying to do them as accurately as possible for historics. So I have, like, you know, desert stuff I want to do, World War II stuff, different eras, like medieval stuff that I want to do, but I want to paint it on my own and kind of make it as believable as possible. But for fantasy, on the other hand, you don't really need that believability. You can include it, of course, but you can kind of use whatever terrain and mash it all together. What I like about Battlefield in a Box is that everything's pre-painted, pre-made, and it's made out of a resin material. So it is a heavy material, and I'll show you guys some other pieces I have before I open this. I have the whole, you've probably seen some of these pieces in my other videos if you watch the channel, or maybe I've talked about them. But I have the whole ruined village that they do, and you can see here that this is very simple painting. I think it's just some sort of primer, and then they dry brush things. But like, all the details you need there to pop out on the game board are already in there. All of these bricks in this particular set. This is from these sets here are from the, I think it's just the Ruined Village set. They got a whole bunch of box sets that have all these different kind of like broken down walls and different archways. Like I've got an archway here, that's one piece. And yeah, they all come pre-painted. Just take it out of the box. You can basically take it out of the box, put it on a field, and start using it. And of course, they also do some other things here. Like I have this rather heavy pool, and they even got the reflection kind of like dark pool in there, so you can have like a dragon bone there with a rock out there. This set in particular comes with a head and then kind of like a talon, I guess, if you will, this claw. It's kind of like dragon bones. They also do some roads, they do some rivers, which I'll show you guys as well. They also, in the ruin set anyway, they do the barricades here. So these are just bricks and a bunch of boards, and you can see the paint job here. You can see that it's been quick and been done fast, but it's not terrible. It's not like a terrible paint job or anything like that, and they paint it in a way that it will stand out and kind of bring a little more to your game, I think, than just, you know, something basic and unpainted. See, you got a bit of log there. See, I myself wouldn't have painted the log that color, but I mean, at a distance it works. You know it's a log, and you see the bag's not fully painted, but you know, at least know it's a bag, you know it's debris, right? So if you want something quick and just want to play quickly with it, Battlefield in a Box is really cool. And I'll show you guys a bunch more pieces here right after we unbox this main one here. I'll put kind of like a table together just to show you guys how simple it is. Okay, so let us open this right here. Now, when you are handling this Gale Force 9 Battlefield in a Box stuff, that you will want to be very careful because it is a harder material, it is resin, and if you drop them a piece, it is subject to break and shatter. So there is a weight factor, and they are a little fragile, so you just want to be careful here when you move them around. And if you plan on being crazy like me and take a whole bunch out to a friend's house or something, expect them to be heavy because they are not light pieces. This isn't MDF or like cardboard or anything. They are actual resin. Now these, from my understanding, are designed in New Zealand. I think that says right on the side of the box. It's all made in Malaysia, which is cool. I guess it's painted and made in Malaysia, but it's designed in New Zealand. I don't know if Gale Force 9 is a New Zealand company or not. They do a lot of what's it called? Smaller scale, 15mm Flames of War stuff. They have a lot of that stuff. So Battlefield in a Box comes in basically, I think, anything from 15mm up to, they say, 35mm. So you can just check out the box. I should show you guys the back of the box if you haven't seen it before. They usually show you the model here, and like on the back here, it tells you model shown at 55%. So this model is going to be obviously going to be bigger than what it is here. This is a fallen angel. We'll just open it instead of me staring at it. The only thing I have to say about this stuff is that sometimes, very rarely, I've gotten something that looks slightly different than what the box advertises. And that might be because of the way it's painted. Because these are all going to be quickly painted, right? Maybe they were low on a pigment or low on some sort of paint or something like that. But yeah, it just comes wrapped up in bubble wrap. Done like that. But yeah, sometimes you might get something that looks a little different than what the box advertised. But for the most part, I haven't had any issues. And like I was saying, they do all sorts of scales. They do 15 millimeter up to 28. They do like historical World War II fantasy. They got some really nice tall broken towers if you want kind of like a Mordheim or Frostgrave look. Also, it's great for 40K. You know, if you just don't have the time or don't want to paint terrain, I just recommend these guys. They get the job done, and I just appreciate having some quick terrain sometimes. I'm sure at some point I'll have a whole bunch of my own terrain, but it's just nice to have these pieces, especially for a game like Frostgrave. So, and they protect it really well because they have to. It is, if you can't hear when I hit it, but it is hard resin. Like it's not fragile, but it's not. It is fragile. It's very fragile. So don't drop it. That's what I'm trying to say. All right, let's move that out. Just make sure there's no pieces here. So this is a nice looking piece. This is actually going to fit. You know, they got a nice foam bottom on this one. So my other pieces, like we have a chimney here, there's no foam. It's just a hard bottom piece. But this actually has a nice foam backing under it, and it must have just been glued on extra. So that'd be good on a mat or a table. You can see here, there's quite a lot of detail in there. That's why I like it, because they do add all the detail, right? They got all these broken pieces. There's scattered terrain. Not scattered terrain. They've got the, like, you know, the debris and stuff like that all over. This obviously was at some point some sort of angel statue, right? So that's why it's called the fallen angel. There's its wings. There's kind of the red basing, now all dusty. But yeah, you can see there's, you know, for a paint job, they've done fairly well. Now, you will get this on some of them sometimes. You get some of the paint that they maybe missed or something chipped there. To me, that's minor and it's easy to fix, but that's just what you get for a quick paint job. So yeah, that's just a terrain piece like so. I'll show you guys, I'll set up like a board here or something with all my ruined terrain. But it is just very quickly, you know, it's just something, so just that, yeah, it's just something you can just quickly take out of the box and start using. So I'll put some models on here. I'll set up a little table here and show you guys all of my collection here. And yeah, just do some more commenting on it. So here's my little Gale Force 9 collection. Now, I put it on a cigar box battle mat here, right? So here's the one thing that I actually am kind of a little more picky on. I am always picky on using mats, because this mat, as you can see, has all of this kind of like, you know, let's call it cobblestone or these stone here. But I've actually kind of grown to not like flat or fabric mats over the years. I prefer texture like this stuff coming out. So that's my preferred type of terrain. Right now I just have these mats and stuff, but at some point I would love to just make like proper textured terrain, because I think it looks better. But for fantasy, this works fine. So you can see here, you know, you could have something like the Gale Force 9 river there. You could have the bridge. I got a single model there over there just to show you the scale at the 25 mil, right? You can come across the bridge and he gets into these ruins here. This whole thing here is different houses, but you can like build them together to make like a cool house. And some of them are quite nice. Like, you know, you get this kind of tower here, so you can have like archers and stuff in the roof. They get like a chimney here with the actual steeple or the stack there, whatever it's called, can come off, so you can have like a ruined piece if you want. You even got the red shingles on like, it's kind of like an older house there. The set comes with various walls, as you can see there, with different archways, right? You got something like that, different stonework, and they do put like the little stones and bricks and stuff falling apart on the sides there. They got a small corner. That's the, I think this is a small corner. And then that's the large corner. I don't remember if there's a medium. And then I really like this set because this wooden plank here is removable, and you get some like steps and a column. Now, you can tell here that the wood material itself is very simple. It just looks like it's been scratched up. It's kind of the same material over there. But it does the job for if you want to do fantasy. And then of course they got the kind of the stucco look what they worked on, some cracks and damages in the walls on that particular one. But yeah, the Battlefield in the Box and Gale Force 9, they do a lot of, you know, it's got the detail in there. It's not the greatest of paint jobs out there for box terrain, but it's pre-painted and price point. I don't think you can really beat it for having pre-painted terrain if you could like to go that route. Now the only downside, and I kind of hope that maybe they release something else, or maybe they have and I don't know, is I really like, this is the upside, I really like these barricades and stuff where they, you know, they have like side pieces or scatter terrain. But this might be me being picky, but if I have a ruined village like this, like I would expect there to be like extra bricks, more rubble, like where's the roof here? Right? There's no roof here. The roof should have fallen in and it'd be hard to crawl through. Or at least if it was cleared, you'd find it over here somewhere, right? So I kind of like this terrain here, because this terrain here has the fallen statue and all the pieces of the fallen statue, the fallen angel here could be in that area. Whereas like when you get a house like this and it's just a corner piece and that's all it comes with, it's not as convincing, because you'd think like the roof had fallen or something like that, right? So that's something that I think once I start doing more terrain modeling, I would kind of like envision and include. However, I understand that when you want to put together something quick like this, that's not something you necessarily need, right? Because this here you could play Frostgrave or Mordheim already as is, at the most basic level, or this is what I think is the most basic level. People might do less than I do. But if you just want something basic level, something you can just get on the table quick, this is ideal. And then, you know, maybe you can get some, if you want to go the extra work, get some styrofoam and start cutting out some bricks if you want. But yeah, I just wanted to unbox that, talk a bit about Gale Force 9 and their Battlefield in the Box stuff. I really like it because it just kind of gives me stuff I can take photos with. It gives me some stuff I can just put on the table and game quick if I want to. And then, you know, it gets me by until I get to more like my own homemade professional grade stuff, which I aim to do at some point. But yeah, it's a good sub-in until then. And if you don't like doing terrain, I recommend it. See, even from a distance here, that chimney looks great, right? That chimney from way back here, put that Berserker there, amazing. There you go, you can play Mordheim, you can play Frostgrave, whatever, and it gets the job done. And then, I mean, same with this Fallen Angel. I just got her today. Look at that. Lighting's not the best here at that angle, but look, you got a terrain piece, and it looks good for Fantasy Skirmish, right? If I only had the the rest of the board blending in, it would be amazing. So even when I do later on do a better tabletop with actual texture and the like, these can still be used in some capacity, right? So anyway, that's all I wanted to share with everyone today. Let's put our Big Axe Berserker up in the building here. And there he is, hiding from archers. So let me know what you guys think of this stuff. If you're the kind of person who also likes to just get terrain on the field, and maybe you'll be like me and build one day. Maybe you don't like to build terrain and you just want something like this, go for it. But yeah, let me know what you think, if you like it or have any, and have a good one. We'll see you next time. Bye now.